So glad to see you again. Hope you're good. Yeah, I hope you saw my previous videos. Today we are continuing on making it easy to identify angles. Yeah, so as you can see here, we have B. Okay, the information is saying in the following sketch. O is the center. That is very, very important to take note of. O is the center. And whenever you have a center, just know three things you must be able to identify. First one is a line drawn from a center perpendicular to the chord, of which I call it number 1A, and then we have number 1B. Number 1A, a line drawn from center perpendicular to the chord, and then the following one is B, which says line drawn from center bisecting the chord is then perpendicular to the chord. And then another one, angle at the center twice angle at the circumference. And then the third one, angle subtended by diameter or angle on the semicircle or in the semicircle per se. Right, so today here is what we have. Check on this one. Okay, I hope you can see clearly. We have A at the center there. Okay, it's upside down this time. It's upside down, but it still apply the same procedure. Still apply the same principle. We don't even give a damn if it's facing left, right, upside down, whatever, as long as we can be able to identify. Because this is angle at the center, so A is angle at the center, and then angle around the point, it's 360, which means now as we have 360 as 306, we have 306 there, which means in order for you to be able to work out A, let's go and check. If you have a point, angle around the point is 360. Hope you can see it there. Here is it, angle at around the point, which means we can be able to use that one in order to calculate A, because angle around the point, it's gonna make it easy for us to calculate A. So A is equal to 360 degrees minus 306 degrees. Okay, but in order to write it properly, you should write A plus 306 is equal to 360, and then you give a reasoning. That's the first thing we should have wrote here. And then the reasoning would have been angles around a point, angles around a PT, just like that. And then 360 minus 360 minus 306, that is 54, which means angle at the center is 54 degrees. 54 degrees, just like that. Let's move. B. What is B? B is at the circumference. Okay, and it's subtending the same arc. This is the arc, subtending the same arc as angle A, and then they are drawn from the same points. The lines that are forming these angles, they are drawn from the same points, which means we can then conclude that we have angle at the center twice the angle at the circumference. So as B is on the circumference, is in the circumference, that means it's going to be half angle at the center. So B is equal to half 54 degrees. That is that. Bani ku half ka 54 ban. Umuntu usavela sehlezi sebenza calculate divided by 2, answer it 27 degrees. Yebo. Let's move. Asambe C, A, B, C. Okay, C. Masempeka lapho C. It's something that we know. We have a point here. Let's go and check on my point A to what is happening. When we see a point, we can be able to work out in it. We can be able to identify in vertical opposite angles. Is it? Yes. Which means C is equal to B. C is equal to B, and then they are equal to 27 degrees. Isizathu sakho vertical opposite angles. The reasoning behind that. Please make sure you normalize or you memorize a precise way to reason. And then after that, let's go for another shape, another circle. Yes, this one for D. New D. What is D? We have D at the center because that's the center. That's the center. Yeah. And then do we have circumference? Yes, we do have angle at circumference. Are they coming from the same points? Are they angles formed by lines coming from the same points or subtending the same arc? Yes, these angles are subtending the same. Okay. And then that is that, which means now it's given that angle at the circumference is 25 degrees, which means D is equal to 2 times that angle, which is 50 degrees. And then the reasoning behind the angle at the center. Now you know how. Come on, now you know. Angle at the center twice the angle at the circumference. If you want to know more about it, here is it at number 2. That is how I was able to identify it. There's your notes. Now my notes are utilize those notes. Put those notes there for you to make it easy. Okay, now let's move. What's next? A, B, C, D, E. What E is going to be? Bisector. Line drawn from center, bisecting. How to identify that it's bisecting? Now my indicators that are showing it's bisecting. Can you see that? And then which means E is gonna be 90 degrees. Okay, a line drawn from center to a midpoint of chord is perpendicular to the chord. There's that. And then F. What is F then? How are we going to calculate F? It's sum of angles of a triangle. We have D, we have E. 180 minus D minus E. Come on. That is 180 minus 90 minus 50. You're going to be able to get an F. Just like that. Done. Let's go for, after F, it's G. Here's G on another circle. G. What is G? What do we have there? These indications, these arrows, they indicate parallel lines. Do you have parallel lines? Yes. Parallel lines. You know, parallel lines. Alternating angles equal, corresponding angles equal, co-interior angles supplementary. Just like that. Perfect. Then we move. Sesiyobheka lapha sinobala lapha sino 40, which means uthi ubani u40. Isizathu sakho, the reason behind, it's alternating angles. There is the reasoning behind. Now you know, but I don't even have to write it for you. Do I have to? No need. And then H. What is H going to be? What is H going to be? What is H? Come on, man. Diameter. RQ is a diameter. It's a line drawn from a particular particular point at the circumference, passing through the center to another particular point at the circumference. It's a straight line passing through the center. Diameter, which means H is what? 90 degrees. 90 degrees. How did I divide that? D. Now you D up. Now you D. Angle and symbol cycle. HI and then I. That's a triangle. RQS is a triangle. We do have H. We do have G. G is 40. H is 90. Interior angle. Interior angles of a triangle, they are supplementary. Which means now for I is equal to 180 minus 90 minus 40. You get your answer. You're going to be fine. And then another one, K and L. We have 50 there. If we have 50, what we know is that according to our notes, it's a piece I didn't bring it up here, but just know your radis are always equal, which means OP is equal to OQ, and then angles opposites equal sides there are equal, which means F is going to be equal to 50. angles opposite equal sides. Noma equal sides subtend equal angles. Yeah, I think that's the proper one. That's the precise one. And then if we're able to get that 150 and 50, that's 100, and then 180 minus 100, it's 80, which means K is 80. Come on, guys, we cannot be repeating one and the same thing now. Now you should be getting it. You should be getting it. And then angle at the center, twice the angle at the circumference. That's your L. Another one, we have parallel lines. You're gonna apply the same point. Hey, homework yako. Here's your homework. Do that one. Let me know in the comment sections if it's giving you a problem. I'm gonna help you out. Peace.